Recording.
Hello,
Stop recording
everybody on
button.
YouTube. This is Nikki Wunderlich, and we are joined by our good friend Thomas Akasella.
Good evening, everybody.
As promised, we are going to talk about, oh god, I forgot what the topic was.
Breakups.
I thought we did that the other night.
No, because on Saturday night we talked about what happened. We were gonna do it, and then last night you were too tired.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
And we didn't do a video on Sunday night, that's right.
Right.
What did we do Monday night?
Monday night. I think you were. Monday night. Well,
Page 3 of 4, adjust. My way left, YouTube, 3 new items.
I can't remember now.
Let me look.
Oh, wait. No, we did do the breakups. We were going to talk about being attached.
Oh, yes.
Attached.
Oh, you still there?
8:42 p.m. 8:42 p.m.
Oops. I think I just hung up on Thomas. Ah.
Home, FaceTime. FaceTime. Double tap.
Let me call him back.
FaceTime video. Selected. Thomas. Your video. Front facing. Alarm set. Status bar item. Swipe down with 3 fingers to reveal notifications. Swipe up with 3 fingers to reveal the control center. Double tap to scroll to top.
And he didn't answer.
Front facing.
Let me try him again.
Cancel. Call back button. Your video. Front facing.
Well, there's 2 kinds of attachment. There's healthy attachment and there's unhealthy attachment. Of course you want to be the healthy attachment kind. You don't want to be the unhealthy attachment kind. And apparently I can't get a hold of Thomas now, which sucks.
Thomas, FaceTime video. 8:43 p.m. button.
We'll just have to wait for him to call me, I guess. Healthy attachments are like, you care about the person, but yet you want to give them their space. Unhealthy attachments are like, you care about the person and you want to be with them 24/7. You don't want to be apart from them at all. No matter what. And whether you're in a long-distance relationship or not, you want the healthy kind of attachment.
Thomas, FaceTime, edit, button, your, end and accept, button, your video, front facing, end and accept, button, end and accept, Thomas, selected, Thomas, FaceTime, selected, your video, front facing, Thomas, FaceTime video, Thomas, your video, front facing.
Okay, we're trying to get a hold of Thomas. There we go.
All right. Okay. What
YouTube
happened?
now. New from Thomas Acogella, July 10th, 2019. Attachment.
Oh, I accidentally locked my phone and it hung up on you.
Oh, no problem. So what I was saying that we did talk about breakups. We were going to talk about being attached to your significant other, the healthy that being healthily attached and unhealthily attached. But you were
Yep.
too tired to do that last night.
Yep, and I started talking about it.
Okay. Okay. All right. So what were we talking? What were you? All right. Well, did you talk about the healthy attachments?
I basically said that you want the healthy kind of attachment, and I gave an example of both. And I said you do not want the unhealthy kind, and I gave an example of both.
Okay. Okay. We also talked about controlling. If you're being controlled in a relationship as well on my channel. I think it was last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we still recording?
Yes.
Okay. So the other thing is, guys, that we talked about that you have to watch out for is, unfortunately, when you get in a relationship with someone, they can control you. And you never want to let anyone in your life do that to you.
Right.
You're your own person. You make your own decisions.
Right.
You run your own life. Nobody tells you how to run your life.
Right.
So if you're in a controlling relationship, you might want to get out of it.
Right.
And there are so many of my friends have said, well, I love her or I love him. Well, being controlled, folks, is
not love.
So, you don't want to be in a relationship where you're being controlled. Now, there's different there's the control where maybe your boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife says that you can't talk to your family, or that you can't go where you want to go, or can't talk to your friends, or and they'll isolate you, and all they'll want is you to themselves.
Right.
That's isolation. They're isolating you, and they're also controlling you.
And that's not
If they're telling
okay.
you what to do. No, it is not. If they're telling you what to do, where to be, who you can talk to, who you can't talk to, but if that's not good. Now, if you're in a long distance relationship, and let's just say if they don't let you get off the phone or something, you're also obviously being controlled. Obviously, you're not physically there in person, but you're still being controlled. But if you're living with the person, and maybe they're controlling your money, or the finances, or the money, I would say you might want to get divorced. Or if you're just boyfriend, girlfriend, you might want to just break up, get divorced, or break up.
Right.
Them, because nobody deserves to be controlled.
Right.
And nobody should be in a controlling relationship. So, yep.
Agreed.
Now, the attachment thing, what I wanted to say is, let's just say if you're in a long-term relationship, how I was, right? For giggles and I'm not going to say I'm going to just say for giggles and giggles.
YouTube now. New from the on-site. Crypto the Superdog attachment.
Let's just say if you're in a relationship where you're where you were like, let's just say if you're in a long distance relationship, and let's just say that you guys are talking all the time, right? Like Megan and I were. We were FaceTiming 24/7, and it got taxing for me towards the end of the relationship. Well, here's the thing. What can happen if you're with I mean, it's great to be with your significant other all the time, but it's also important to have time away from each other. And I don't mean for days or for weeks, just a few hours, that's perfectly healthy and it's important. But what happens is, here's what can happen. When you're with the person all the time, 24/7, you can get attached. And then let's just say if they throw a suggestion at you, like, well, FaceTiming, let's just use FaceTime for example. Let's just say if they say, FaceTiming every night or 24/7 isn't working for me anymore. Let's just say if your boyfriend or girlfriend says that to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, you might be so attached to them that you might say to them, well, no. I that doesn't, I want to keep doing what we're doing. So in other words, you're not respecting their wishes. You're not respecting, or maybe they want space and you're like, I want to be with you all the time, which is great, but remember, we talked about this in other videos, boundaries are important, and giving your significant other space is important.
Right.
And before, and I suggest, here's, let's talk about compromising now. So, here's what I wanted to do with my ex, Megan, and I suggested this to her, and she didn't want to do this. I said to her, before she broke up with me, after she started talking to me again, after 4 weeks of not talking to me for no reason, I said to her, we used to talk on this, we talked on this chat. It's an online chat where you talk to people, type to them, no voice, you type to them, or in my case, dictate to them. And anyways, it was when the Lonely Room 1 existed, which apparently doesn't exist anymore. And anyways, it doesn't
exist anymore?
What?
It doesn't exist anymore?
I don't think so. There's a Lonely Room 2 now, but there's no more. Apparently, there's no more Lonely Room 1.
Weird.
Yeah. Anyways, so you guys, the point is, before she broke up with me, I said, listen, why don't we do this? Why don't we can still FaceTime every day, and but why don't we do this? Why don't we just keep the FaceTime calls at night? When we wake up in the morning, we'll get off of FaceTime, because don't forget, guys, we were obviously on FaceTime 24/7. So obviously we slept on FaceTime together. So I said to her, we'll get up in the morning and, we'll get off FaceTime at a certain time. I can pick a time. I suggested 11 o'clock my time in the morning. And I said, maybe, why don't, we can maybe reconnect like 4 or 5 at night at my time. And she said no. But if you guys decide to do that, okay, that's healthy, because what you're doing is you're giving each other space, okay? So, you're still FaceTiming every day, and you're still sleeping together on FaceTime. That's what you guys are interested in doing. But during the day, you have the time to do what you want to do, and she has the time to do what she wants to do. So you both have time to do what you guys need to do or want to do during the day. But then at night, that's your time. That's your that's your time with her or him. So yeah. Now, Nikki brought up a good point last night on my channel. If both of you obviously don't sleep on FaceTime together, or don't want to sleep on FaceTime together, or maybe she doesn't want to sleep with you on FaceTime, or maybe you don't want to sleep with her on FaceTime, then, maybe you guys can just, FaceTime for a few hours at night. or get off before you guys go to bed. But if you guys do sleep on FaceTime together,
Or
or
do like
Skype
a
or
couple
whatever.
hours in the morning and a couple hours at night.
right, or Skype or whatever. But let's just say that's a very good point, right? But if you guys do sleep on FaceTime together, maybe what you can do is what I suggested is, still FaceTime every day, but to just keep the calls at, to the night, keep the calls at night. This way, during the day, you guys can, have your space and do what you want to do. Now, you guys might be wondering, how did you guys get privacy if you guys were FaceTiming 24/7? Well, that's a good question. I'll answer it if any of you are wondering. So, I would sometimes leave. Like, I would leave my room if, like, she needed to call, like, if Megan had a therapy session, which was an hour long. It's online. And so what she does is she texts with her therapist, but she has to dictate what she says. So I gave her privacy for that. I left the room for an hour. And if she needed to call the crisis hotline to talk to somebody, I would obviously leave. So, and if I would go out, I would still leave the call going, but, obviously